right, y'all. Welcome to Indica. News, music, and review, mostly hip hop, presented by the PTC. The PTC is a group, and my name is Theater Mutiny. It's one of the
What up?
members.
I'm Magic. I'm another one of the group members for PTC.
And we have today one of our own members who goes by A.M.A.R.U. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Oh.
What up? How's it going? Chilling.
How you doing?
Yeah. Good.
Living life. Yeah.
Chilling as much as we can.
Soaking up the sun.
Yeah. So I'm A.M.A.R.U. It is it didn't start as an acronym, but then it kind of became one. It analyzed my always rotating universe. I just been kind of emceeing, making music for a little while now, but yeah, just doing it mostly for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just like collaborating with people and stuff like that. And like future plans, I do plan on dropping some stuff eventually, but just got to get around to that again. It was kind of cool to be able to jump into the studio with folks, so I haven't done that in a minute. And once that happens, I think I'll be able to, start dropping some new stuff. It'd be kind of fun to do that.
Hey.
Sounds good, bro. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and jump in with a couple of questions that I put together for you. I know Moon Magic's got some too. So
Yep.
I'll drop my first one for you. Speaking of music, I've always wanted to know this about most of the people I kick it with, especially collaborate with, we're fellow group members as a PTC as of now, A.M.A.R.U's officially one of our newest members of the PTC, so you're going to be hearing a lot more from him. With that being said, what was one of your first experiences with hip-hop music? What was that experience like, and how did it change you as a person? Like, one day you're just a normal person, and then you heard this thing called hip-hop, and it gravitated you and transcended your whole lifestyle. Because hip-hop, it just seems to do that, right? So
yeah, definitely. I think for me, it was definitely my older brother kind of introducing me to the music, because he was going to school with some people that were listening to that, and then he got put on to some Bone Thugs, and then he brought that home, and then it was just playing some Bone Thugs. I just remember one of the first songs I can remember was if I can teach the world wide world to be a thug, I remember that, and I was just wow, this is some melodic bangers right here. I was okay, I'm down with this. It was kind of cool. I got introduced to it like that. And then, from there, it just kind of also helped me make a better sense of a lot of the things around me, being a part of the culture of hip hop. So, just coming to a better understanding with what graffiti was. Because, growing up, you kind of saw it in your neighborhoods and all that, but really understanding it as a part of a culture. It's understanding that heritage, that history, kind of really brought a lot of context to, I guess, my experiences growing up in Santana. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool. The graffiti, definitely. That's another gravitational pull to the culture.
Yeah. Or just even the elements of hip hop or whatever. But
yeah,
thinking about just even the storytelling element of hip hop, and kind of how that's a huge part of our culture. How that's intertwined with hip hop. So it's kind of, that element too is pretty cool to, understand and have a context to, and, kind of develops your identity too in a lot of ways. Cause we're always trying to figure out who we are, why we're here, what we're doing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely an identity risk taker for the most part. But yeah, it's dope, man. The elements of hip hop are always strong, and I feel like you can't have one without the other. It just seems to be like that,
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. I know for me, that's definitely what drew me to it as well. It's not just about the music, it's about the whole thing, the culture, the way of living, the way of life, the way of seeing things, So for sure, thanks for speaking on that. So kind of going off that, so my question for you is now that you're in it, you've been doing it, you know, how did you get connected with the PTC for anybody who is watching this and kind of, you know, introducing them to PTC as a crew and just kind of like the way that we've gotten to know one another. How did you get connected, and what do you feel like you bring to the group, or what does that mean to you to be part of this group?
Well, I got put on the PTC by the homie Street Dialectics. I know.
Hey.
Yeah, he's you know, comes and goes. He's doing his own thing. I know he's like making a bunch of music and like, you know, publishing it and all that. So that's kind of cool to see. But you know, I kind of worked with Street Dialectics a little bit here and there. He was like part of this group in Santana called Chamquerem.
Oh yeah,
And
I
like
remember
that's
that.
how I got to know him. And we kind of like, you know, collaborated on some stuff here and there with some folks out in Anaheim too called Sacred Blasphemy. So that's how we started connecting more. And then, you know, so like I was just word of mouth, just like, hey yo, some people are like recording, or some people got studio time. You want to cruise by and like drop some bars on the track real quick and like, you know, collab on something. And that's kind of what the relationship was like, and is, I think, for the most part, with a lot of the people that I know who are like make music.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was just like that. And then one day he hits me up, Street Dialectics hits me up, and he's like, yo, this is the opportunity, you know, do a collab. You got some beats, send me some beats. And I was like, oh yeah, I just bought some beats off of this one producer that does like some with beat rock music. I don't know if you know beat rock music. He's OJ the producer. He does some stuff for like Bamboo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Shout out to them.
And
Nice.
yeah, shout out Bamboo,
Ruby,
Rocky
Mara,
Rivera.
Yeah.
Rocky Rivera for
And
sure.
Classy,
Those are OGs in the
Classy.
game.
Yep.
That's what's up, man.
Some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, I was sitting on these beats for a minute. Because I came up on these beats randomly, not randomly, but like 2 years ago, something like that. Because I was like, I was like I had time. I was like, I was in a space where I could like, you know, make a mixtape or something. So I was like looking for instrumentals and so, or beats, right? And then I followed this dude on Instagram, OJ the producer, you know, because obviously I'm fans of beat rock music, Bamboo, Rocky Rivera, all them. Like I definitely like listen to their music.
Where are you located at right now?
Now I'm in Riverside, California.
Oh shit, dude! I was born in Riverside.
Nice.
Oh, now you're in Riverside.
I'm like, wait a minute. I think we got similar roots. That's what's up. Because that's, you know, that's how I know Bamboo, and like kind of got plugged into that was from, you know, just going to school in Pomona and living out in Mobile.
Cool.
You know.
No, but yeah, I'm in Riverside now, but I grew up, born and raised in Santana, Orange County. So, you know, we got kind of priced out of Orange County.
Yeah.
Gentrified pretty heavily and like.
Yeah, it seems to be happening everywhere.
And you know, like who makes the rules, like how land is valued and all that. You know what I mean? Like, even just thinking about that, it's kind of intense. But yeah, we got priced out. You know, a little, pretty much. But and it's just better, more space for the kids. You know, they have like space to run around and.
Right. I mean, that's why a lot of people move to Moreno Valley from Los Angeles. It's for the same reason. It's like the price of a house is like a 2-bedroom apartment. It's crazy the you know, difference and whatnot, you know?
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted to move on a little bit to the second part of the question, you know, being mindful of our time with you today. What do you feel, so for people who are just getting, you know, learning about you, what do you feel like you bring to PTC? I'm going to combine this with another question, kind of like what makes you unique as an artist, you know? What is your thing that, you know, you brings out that passion for you, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a good question. I like that question. Let's see. What do I got to bring to the group? Well, I just think
let's go.
You know, I got myself to bring. I think different no matter what.
That's important.
I kind of know my worth as well, so I'm like, I'm confident in that. You know, I'm not really like tripping on stuff. I'm not I'm not being guided by my ego or nothing like that. I'm just like making music because it's fun. It's fun for me. Like I love doing that, and then yeah, I don't know. Like that's pretty much what I'm motivated is by the experience of the
I
creative
mean, that's in
process. You
itself,
know?
that's an answer.
Yeah,
Authenticity, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I think like
That's important.
yeah, just even thinking about future projects, and then
we have a lot of them.
what's
Yeah, coming.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah, and just like what's possible. Um, I think that's kind of what's awesome about the PTC
Hmm.
is the fact that like you got multiple different types of folks getting together, collaborating on something, and I think that's really where like the best things happen is through collaboration. It's kind
Absolutely.
of a trip because
Hmm.
like we're just talking about the Industrial Revolution. Like, but so sorry, man. Like, teaching is like a huge part of my life. Just like
Yeah,
this, my
that's what's
social
up.
studies class, like we were talking
Yeah.
about the Industrial Revolution, and then like how all these people are like obsessed over like who invented something, like
Right.
who
Mm.
invented the light bulb or who invented the telephone, and then
Uh-huh.
where it's not necessarily like I don't know, it's kind of like Western culture, but they're like obsessed over that like one celebrity
Yeah,
like person,
for
right?
sure.
We're in like in reality, the essence of all that was like it was a collaborative process that got
Yeah.
these
Hey.
folks to a point where they're able to,
Yeah.
because of all the work that people had done before,
Right.
they were
Right.
then able to like perfect, a project, um,
Right.
or make something or stumble upon something, because they had like the privilege of time to not like
Hmm.
have to, do all these different things.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's kind of a trip. So I kind of like think about it, think about it in that way too. I don't know why, but I
That's
know
a
I
No,
great
and I
think
mean, I
perspective, though.
think,
it's really
and
random.
that within itself, like even, you're talking about teaching being a big part of your life. Like that's definitely
Mm-hmm.
what you bring, is that knowledge and that wisdom for that. So thanks for like
Uh-huh.
dropping that for sure on us and, bringing it together. Yeah.
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 Hmm. And when I think about the Industrial Revolution too, I always
Yeah.
think about like, I'm gonna eavesdrop. I mean, like piggyback on what you just said there. Uh, but that's a heavy perspective to have because some people rethink face value, and then they don't see that there's all these other things that happen. Like with the invention of the light bulb, we got pollution, right? Like we got
Mhm.
electrical generators destroying the environment, the global impact after millennia, right? It's just like we don't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't think about. Now they're finally thinking about alternatives to these resources, right? So it's like there's a whole dichotomy when it comes to the industrial revolution.
Yeah,
So,
totally. And it's a trip because, like, and that's a lot of things that, you just like hear by having conversations like this. People start talking about, oh no, now we're like in the fourth industrial revolution. And then I'm just like,
Mm.
oh, what?
do we need
What's
any
going
more?
on? We're in the fourth industrial. What is this? And they're like, yeah, we're in the fourth, man. We're in the fourth industrial revolution. I'm like,
Damn, I haven't
nah.
heard
And
that
they're
yet,
like,
but I believe it.
yeah, dude, like,
The
now you can make
interdimensional
like a robotic
revolution.
heart. You can make a robotic heart and put it into like a person's body,
Oh
or like
shit.
you can put a machine on a person's heart. So like if they like have like a heart attack or something, the machine will like bring them back to life, like shock them back to life.
Right.
And this exists now. Like people
Whoa.
people are using this now. And then
AI.
I was like, oh yeah, that is the fourth industrial revolution.
Yeah, AI.
You're
Like
not tripping out. You're not tripping
yeah,
on some
that's crazy.
conspiracy theory stuff. But
Shout out to Sage. Sage is up in the building.
what up, Sage?
Uh,
But yeah, it's a trip, industrial revolution.
All right.
Such a random topic, but
Yeah, no,
we
it's a
on it. We
random,
on it
but it's a huge dilemma, I feel like.
now. Yeah.
So there's some perks and there's pros and cons. But back to the questions I got for you. I wanted to know, do you have any old rhymes that you remember or any demo recordings from when you first started off? Like any rhymes that come to mind?
Oof. Yeah, I think some of the older stuff I made was like I don't know. It was some of it was pretty bad. Like like I
we
think
all got them rhymes.
yeah,
We all
we got
got them
some bad ones.
lines.
I think it was kind of like
I
It's been out
destroyed mine.
already.
like shock value type of bars or like
Hmm.
Uh,
trying to be the most grotesque or most like offensive, you know, not stuff that I'm kind of like really into at all anymore.
hmm.
But I think just because we would like just cipher like for like fuck with it, not cipher like just freestyle
Yeah.
Because I grew up skating, right? So we would just like kind of skate around, and then
Nice.
we like shoot the shit, all that, and then or chat or whatever, and then people would be like, they would start like flowing or like
Mm-hmm.
or like make like talking about someone, like what they're doing, like
Right.
well, like they just landed a kickflip, oh this and that, whatever.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I was just like, okay, and then we're just kind of always like do that and mess around, and then it kind of like became a thing when like you want to burn the other person, you want to like talk
Yeah.
smack on them like the most or like the hardest or whatever. Um, but yeah, some old rhymes. I can't really think of any from like the top of my head, but I do remember.
Maybe you got anything fresh from right now?
Oh, fresh. Damn.
So,
Let's see. Okay, drop some lines, right? Some bars. I have an old one. I think it's kind of. I've always like. Well, just one that is like always in the back of my mind. It's
dope.
like about a nonprofit industrial complex, like
Dope.
how we
Okay.
go through like these cycles of co-optation and stuff.
Yeah.
But those were like, all right, how did that start? It would be like, okay, let me see. From the very beginning, they want to kill imagination, keep us hating on the situations that they creating. Mind stuck, perpetually fucked by these colonial problems. Crazy because we believe our community can solve them. Fucking depressing to think all it takes is a little money, steady income. You want some, got all these sellouts thinking funny like signing petitions and voting are probable solutions. Soulless lifelines pleasing the wills of institutions who for hundreds of years never cared for our inclusion. Only when they got scared did they get to fucking choosing Uncle Toms and Juans to pacify and amuse them. Pacify and abusers, criticize, say that we clueless. All under a state-sponsored banner for justice. What the fuck's this? There ain't no justice, it's just us. All under a state-sponsored banner for justice. What the fuck's this? There ain't no justice, it's just us.
Man.
Bow, bow, bow.
Yeah.
Fire.
There's some heavy wisdom there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing.
Dropping them
Not
flows.
very hopeful, huh?
No, it can be very depressing,
Yeah.
but the fact that you turned it into a rhyme, which is a form of
Yeah,
entertainment, it's really uplifting, for
definitely.
people in the culture especially, or even like the people outside of the culture. A lot of people get used to the shit they hear on the radio and they don't think there's really nothing else beyond that. Like, the face value I was talking about. People just see things as face value. And I get it. Life is meant to be lived. But when you start paying attention to life.
Yeah, there's always a place for it.
The more you pay
I know what
attention
you
to
were
life,
saying.
it's just like it hits you.
Yeah, and I was just gonna, like you're saying about adding it to, your introduction to hip hop being through the culture. Like I think for those who have that kind of introduction to it, it's about the struggle and being able to speak towards different things that you're going through and like the hardships, and like that's what has made me love this music so much, is like it's a lifeline during some of those difficult things where you just got to get it out, so it ain't always gonna be like, like you're saying, it might not be the most uplifting, but knowledge is power, and let's not be, mistaken by that, and so speak that truth always.
Yeah, definitely. And that's definitely like, sorry, I just thought I heard my son crying. Oh, he is. Sorry, give me a second. Let me check in with you in like 2 minutes.
Go for it, bro.
All
Don't worry about this. What's up, bro? The outcome, are you still there?
Hey.
Yo.
Hey, yo, what's happening?
What's happening,
Yo.
Captain? You still eating that fruit?
Yeah, finished it up.
What up? How
Thanks
are
for
you,
coming
fam?
through, bro. Thanks for coming through, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here as part of the copious amounts of audience we have, so that way I can chime in here and there.
Yeah.
You taking a shit?
Hey.
Got that echo.
I hear the Beatles playing in the background. Let it be. Nah.
Yeah, that's the
How y'all doing?
Pretty good, man. We're just chilling with our boy A.M.A.R.U.
Oh,
it's been a minute,
right.
What up?
Damn, my bad.
You good,
No, I
man?
feel like your background's got me on some like sunny Sunday afternoon, just like vibed out.
Yeah.
It's dope. Very tranquil, man.
Mhm.
Sorry about that, yo.
Are you good?
Yeah, I just checked out for a second because I heard my son crying. But what were you saying, Moon Magic? I'm so sorry. I just didn't.
Oh shit! What was I talking about? I checked out too, y'all.
I think that was my last question was like, do you have any old rhymes or recordings that you remember from?
Oh
and
yeah.
then we went off on a tangent, and then you showed us a little.
Should I just bring it back with the next question?
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever's clever. Sorry about that. Dude, I go on tangents all the time.
We were talking about spacing out, so I'm going to bring it with the next question. I'm a consumer of the tree, and this is a podcast called Indica, so, I feel like I have to ask the question, sativa or indica, are you a consumer of the tree, and do you got a favorite strain or,
Indica dominant
brand you be repping?
Indica dominant. It's been a minute. Every once in a while, I guess, but I was always more of a sativa person.
All right,
Gotcha.
Got a favorite strain?
Not really. I think, or Blue Dream, I guess.
I was just gonna say that was the first strain I had because I'm from Texas. Like when I came out here, that was the first strain I had, and I fell in love with it. But yeah, back to you, bro.
That was my question. All that Cali love. All right. Back to you, Theater Mutiny.
All right.
How to ask.
Sure.
So we're talking about, strains and whatnot. Strains, right? Strains go a long way. There's tree strains, flower strains, human strains, right? Human strains. I want to focus on your human strain. So I want to know, what is your ethnic background, and does it have with any role or emission whatsoever behind your music?
Yeah. I was born and raised in Santa Ana, California. Born to Peruvian mother and father, immigrants to the country. Over here, it's so-called U.S. And then, let's see. I think my identity is kind of it's a trip. It's good to always think about. I think I'm always like constantly in a state of reflection. I identify as Peruvian, yes, to a certain extent. I don't always like have this like allegiance to the state, so to speak. So I kind of feel weird about that sometimes. But yeah, I think I'm Peruvian, but I kind of also see myself as like indigenous to the continent in a sort of way. So, because I mean, I can just kind of like look at my skin and then I'm like, oh yeah,
reminded,
I'm indigenous to the continent. I think my history has been like stolen from me, definitely because of colonization and imperialism and stuff. But there are remnants of it that I know. Like I know my family's from Huánuco in so-called Peru, and then in Huánuco, I know that they're like cafeteros, which would explain why I love coffee so much.
Oh yeah, you do.
Maybe I just like coffee because it has caffeine. But,
cheers, bro.
But it's very tropical, but also kind of like desert environment, and it's like part of that region of Huánuco is also like incorporated, like a part of like the Amazon rainforest. So I think there's kind of like I can see those elements in me, like I can recognize those in me. But yeah, what role that plays in my music, I think, is like kind of in constantly figuring out who I am. I think that kind of reflects in my art, whatever art it is that I'm producing or creating. So it's kind of like, yeah, definitely, it does play a role. But I guess, Peruvian. Long ass answer for Peruvian. I'm Peruvian.
It's a good answer. The longer answer is always the good one. So
for sure.
Alrighty, well, let me see what I got over here. Hey, we get into that time, where it's important to ask. Everyone's got to ask this question at least one time in an interview, right? What are the top 5 artists of all time that influence you? And when I do top 5s, I understand it's like an ever-changing, evolving list. It can just be top 5 off top of your head right now. Hip hop or not hip hop, that influence you and that type of you look up to, whatnot. You can feel free to speak on some of your options or choices if you want to.
Let's see. I don't think I got like a set vibe for sure, like concrete vibe. I think it's always changing for sure. Like, like whatever mood I'm in, I can have like different types of top fives, if that makes sense. But I think like overall,
like depending on the day, this is my like
like if it's a rainy day, if it's a rainy day top five.
There's
like
that's real.
It's like a FTP top five. It's like there's all sorts of top fives. But let's see. I would say let's just go. What's going on in my head right now? What have I been listening to? Okay, well we just talked about Bamboo and Rocky Rivera, so I would put them up there.
Hey,
so that leaves me
like,
like three more people.
Okay.
Hey, I'm joking. All right, so let's see.
I already like where it's starting.
Yeah, everyone at Beat Rock, like just maybe let's just have entire Beat Rock music as number one. All right.
All right.
Let's see. Who else have I been listening to? Joey Badass. I don't know why.
Okay.
I do know why. I mean, he makes a pretty cool music.
Yeah.
So I put Joey Badass on there. Or how about Pro Era? Let's do another collaborative project. This is my collaborative top five, all right?
Okay.
The whole Beat Rock music family. Pro Era instead of just Joey Badass, right? Let's do Pro Era. So Capital Steez, all those fools, East Coast or Beast Coast. And then let's see. Who else? Bone Thugs and Harmony. Another collaborative. That's my third collaborative. Let's see another one. Let's see stuff that I grew up on. Let's go with stuff that I grew up on. West Side Connection, another collaborative.
Okay.
It came out hard.
One more. Damn, now I'm blanking on everything. Oh, Wu-Tang Clan, dog. Come on.
Hey.
Dude, Wu-Tang Clan for sure. That was a huge one. We would bump that when we would skate all the time. It was actually like I had Motherfucking Ruckus, you know that one song?
Yeah.
Like that was a song for one of my skate parts for sure.
Dope.
Videos.
Yeah.
I gotta find that. When I find that, I'll send it your way.
That's a good list.
Dope. That'd be dope. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Maybe even
my collaborative top five.
Music videos. I think hip hop and skate. I was hearing this recently. I'm not sure how authentic or how truth this is, but skating is becoming another element of hip hop, and I think that's really cool because it takes you automatically back to the streets. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It takes you back to the act of movement itself. Hip hop is a movement, and you get a lot of these gestures that come into the culture easily.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't really thought about that way. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like
and I have my own weird experience with skating, kind of growing up.
Dope.
It didn't really it wasn't really cracking like where I was at. Like people weren't like skating deep, like heavy. Right. And maybe it's just because I was ignorant to it. It was probably happening somewhere else in the city around me, but I was just ignorant to it. Some of my prejudices towards skating growing up was like, oh, white people do that.
Right. Yeah.
White kids skate. And they listen to punk rock music and stuff. I was very closed-minded, right? So I was like, just hip-hop only, all this weird. But dude, I was in a heavy metal band, yo. I was a drummer in a heavy metal band.
That's pretty sick, though, man.
My love for music transcends, obviously, just hip-hop. But that took time for me to kind of figure out.
So Lupe Fiasco, he kind of bridged that gap a little bit,
Yeah.
The kick push, everyone was like, what?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
that's
true. That's true.
Oh, yeah. I remember when that came out.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little different. But obviously, when I started skating, meeting people in the streets who were also skating, right? That's what happened. And then I had some punk friends. They put me onto punk music that I was very afraid of. It's oh no, that punk rock. And then how I would deal with that weird repression of my emotions. I'd be like, oh, that's white people, man, white people.
Yeah.
I miss that, bro. And then it's like, and then you start hearing like punk rock music, and you're like, oh, dude, this is sick.
This is pretty sick, right?
Yeah. And you got like get super into it, and then so yeah, you know, just like meeting people, getting them like, and you know, honestly, just like people putting people on to like different stuff. You know, just being open to it and like hearing people out, like listening. That's kind of, you know, what it's been like with skating, at least. And then,
yeah. Skating's hardcore, bro. Like,
yeah,
I learned how to skate like late in my life, and then I stopped. So it's hardcore, you know. I learned how to get from A to B, but that was that's safe enough for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, breaking bones and doing all that. It's not
yeah,
fun.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely a part of it. I remember doing that. I've broken a couple bones, but then it was after a point, you know, I was just like, damn, I don't know if I could do this anymore. Or like, I never did anything wild, you know, like I would like kick flip off of like 4 stairs, 5 stairs, something like that. But then I saw like, you know, people around me who were also skating, they started getting good, right? Like they started getting better, like, because you kind of progress it's like a collaborative effort. Also, skating.
Yeah.
Hey.
You learn from each other.
Back to the collaborative. See, the theme with PTC is collaboration. Right?
Hey.
Maybe that's what the C stands for, collaboration.
Hey,
but,
you know?
Hey.
Naturally.
But, yeah, just thinking about people jumping off like 20 stairs, like 30 stairs, like, I ain't about that life.
It's dope to look at, but I would never try it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seen some crazy ass videos.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about all that.
Dude, I can't even watch those. Like you know, like Hall of Meat and stuff. Thrasher. Like I don't know if y'all are familiar with that. Like Thrasher has a Hall of Meat.
Thrasher.
Hall of Meat. It's just like bales, like
whole bunch of fails.
Like whole bunch of bales,
I can't watch it.
Dude, people are into that. People love watching that. They're just like, oh, dude. I'm like
that weirdo.
Like I cringe. Like I get like.
I'd be like, oh yeah.
I cringe at memes these days. I can't even finish reading a meme if it's like that. Like, ooh, like I want to keep my mood flowing.
Got my whole brain broke for an afternoon. Everything I step on, oh my god, it's gonna break me. I think we're getting close to the end. You got any more questions, Student Mutiny?
I do. I have a couple more.
All right, let's do it.
So, do you feel like hip hop can have a positive impact in the coming years, as far as today's trends are going? You know, the whole mumble rap, the whole everybody's like, you know, over hypersexualized. You know, it's just, I'll let you fulfill that. Like, do you think like we have any positive, or not only just we, but hip hop itself, the culture, can have a positive impact somewhere?
Yeah, definitely. Like 100%. I do. I think, shit, I don't know. I think it's important to acknowledge like Black America with hip hop. So like, I think more people should follow the lead of Black America, like how they analyze the world, how they see themselves in the world, how they relate to other people in the world. Hip hop is definitely an element of that because it's Black culture. You know, hip hop is Black, and we are just guests in this culture, right? So I think acknowledging that is kind of important. I think some of the things that make me hopeful is Lil Nas X. Believe it or not, I think that song is dope.
He's creative as fuck.
Come on, dog.
Yeah,
that shit's lit. Old Town Road was lit.
I mean, he broke some barriers, regardless of how people feel about it. Good, better,
but you know, they were both great tracks.
I've never seen anything like that since like maybe Beastie Boys with the rock and hip hop, but
and for real, it's like he was even on Late Night with Elmo, yo. Like
what?
my son was watching Lil Nas X
on Elmo
sing Elmo's song with Elmo on the Late Night show with Elmo.
What?
I'm not fucking
that sounds pretty lit, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
I had to look that one up. Yeah, I'm gonna look that one up.
Yo. And it's the sickest Elmo's song version.
I believe you. I believe you.
I'm 100% on board with that. I think let's blend more shit. Let's cross more shit over.
Fusions, right? Like, don't be scared to rip the tide. Yeah.
Yeah, don't be scared of that. punk kid that lived in the neighborhood. He wasn't trying to be white. He was really Mexican and a punk kid. They do exist, right?
They do.
Like, yeah, not everything is kind of like in this.
Right.
I think it's kind of recognizing different perspectives.
That's important.
Like
that right there.
expanding the way you see things.
Mhm.
Just being empathetic and forgiving of a lot of things that exist in the world. But yep, I think that's
Yeah.
Good answer, man. That's a great answer.
true. Hip hop, yeah, hip hop
Yeah.
forever, yo.
I mean, my last question for you, I know we're getting close to the time. Do you have anything you want to plug in for people? I know you kind of mentioned some things at the beginning. Any projects that you have that you already have up, maybe your favorite project, you know, whatever you want to maybe, you know, just let people know where they can, you know, get a little bit more into you as an artist and all that good stuff.
Yeah, let's see. I would say put your people on, yo. That's what I want to plug. Like, put your people on. Like, you got homies that are putting music out there and doing some cool shit. Put them on, yo. I'll shout out Lyric El Ray. Look him up on Instagram. That fool's dropping some fire, yo.
He's dropping a lot of
he's
stuff.
He's from Compton, but we met in Santana, and you know, him, his partner, and their beautiful son. You know, they chilling, they hustling, they grinding. You know, they're doing that. They got some cool shit. Yeah, so Lyric El Ray, shout out Lyric El Ray. Shout out Graphic from Anaheim.
I remember.
They're always doing their thing. There's hella people out there putting in work and getting some cool stuff done. And you know, just be on the lookout. PTC Moon Magic just dropped some stuff too, right?
Hey,
I would say plug all
brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, Moon Magic puts.
Oh, shout out your handle though. I do want people to know how to find you when they watch this. You know.
Yeah, Instagram handle is Chumbeko. It's kind of like Chum number 3
KO, right?
KO. Damn, I don't even remember. Yeah, CHUMB 3 KO. Yeah, 3 KO.
I'm sure I'll put that in the description too. So
yeah, Chumbeko is just what like my parents would call me. Like a term of endearment. I think it is kind of it's relevant. It's kind of like I don't know how much part of my culture it is, but yeah, Chumbeko. That's what they would call me growing up. So that's what my handle is.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I'm sure folks wonder about
a little extra history.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, put your people on. Hopefully, I'll have some stuff coming out soon. I don't know when.
But you got some fire on SoundCloud right now.
Go check out SoundCloud. If you want to check out that SoundCloud stuff, it's on there.
My favorite song so far, you got a lot of them, but one of the ones I always listen to when I put my SoundCloud on is the warning shots, bro. That shit right there.
Yeah, warning shots. Interesting.
And you got a lot of heat coming on that PTC collaboration EP dropping soon, y'all.
Yeah. Let's get it going.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to that project. It's under wraps. You know, A.M.A.R.U's got heat. Everybody's bringing heat to the table. You know, Outcome's dropping.
Outcome. What up, Outcome?
Yeah. Hey, actually, touching on the subject of your Instagram handle. How do you pronounce it again? Chumbeko?
Yeah, Chumbeko.
Do you know what it actually translates to in English?
I think it's like the one that was kissed by the sun type of thing. It's like the darker skinned kid, maybe.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think that's kind of some things that have been kind of insinuated. I don't know if I've ever, maybe I'm just going to hit up my pops and my mom. I'll be like, yo, what does this word mean? I don't think I've ever asked them, but I think I've always kind of thought of it as that. I don't know, maybe if I just was projecting definitions onto things, but yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I believe that's a cultural thing, right?
Yeah.
My parents are from Mexico. My parents were born in Mexico, even though I was born here. But the language, right? The language has a huge impact on the way we end up growing up, and it's just it's a mind-boggling situation to see or to hear that they gave you a term of endearment, whereas like my dad will call me like fucking cabron, or you know what I'm saying, or like even my mom, who's such a sweetheart, like God bless her soul, you know what I'm saying, I love her so much, love her deeply, but even her term of endearment is mi cagado aguado, which literally translates to her loose shit. So it's just like it's really comforting to know that there is some very loving cultures out there aside from the Mexican culture. So that's good.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like, my partner's family is from Veracruz, Mexico. Shout out to my son is Mexican too. And call your baby boys pumpkin and cupcake, yo. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, I see my son, I'm like, come here, pumpkin.
Hey.
Yeah, it's a sentiment.
Yeah, we got to do that. We got to do that more for sure. Like, I feel that. I mean, there's a place for talking smack, I guess. It's what,
yeah, I think I'm gonna have a word with my mom.
There's a place for it, but you don't got, no te tienes que pasar de la raya.
Yeah.
You gotta cross the line.
I think I'm gonna have a serious word with my parents after this. This is uncalled for. Now that I think about it.
I'm sure
I love your mom, Malcolm.
Stand up.
Yeah. She's cool. She's cool.
But yeah, language is a trip. Language is a huge trip. And the fact that we're all speaking English too right now.
Right.
Yeah. Correct.
I mean, I change my son's name every day. I feel like,
Yeah.
One day he's Henry, the next day he's Michael Jackson. I'm just like, Michael Jackson, eat your food.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna do that because my son's name is Rumi, but he's like, and Rumi is also Quechua, by the way. Like, this is why it's Quechua. It's like the indigenous language of the region where my ancestors are from, right? And Rumi means rock. So like,
he's your rock.
Mi piedra, like my
That's
little
dope.
rock. No, but he's like the Hulk. Now he's like Hulk smash.
Yeah.
Hulk smash. And then he's super into Ghostbusters. So he has his little Ghostbuster outfit. And he'll be like, he's like 1, 2, 3. And he does it with like his cousin Bruno, and they're just like chilling. So I mean, those are like precious moments.
Yeah,
but I'm honestly just gonna be like, yo, Hulk, you need to come over here and put your shoes on, yo.
Hulk smash them shoelaces.
Get over here, Bruce Banner. Put your shoes on.
Bruce Banner.
Come on. Or sometimes they're Iron Man too. They're like,
yeah.
I'll be like, wait, what's Iron Man's name?
Tony, get your ass over here.
Tony Stark. Yeah, I'm like, Tony, get over, Tony. Sit down. Sopita. Sopita time.
It does help to get in them in the moment, though. It's like you have
to
play around.
Like, oh, dang, I am Iron Man. And I'm like, hey, man, eat a sopita, man. Iron Man eats that sopita.
Yeah.
You don't think Iron Man eats that. I mean, it might not look like it. Hollywood, fancy dinners, Hollywood. No, Tony Stark eats sopita, dog, because abuela eats that. We're playing around. We're not playing no games. You get big and strong. Eat that sopita.
Yeah.
But
I did have one more question for you. It's a pretty simple one, man. But I know time is of the essence. You got a couple more minutes. I know you gotta go. But I would love you to answer this as sweet and short as possible. Do you prefer to freestyle or write out your rhymes to conceptualize ideas, or perhaps both?
I think I like to freestyle, and I really like to write. So sometimes I'm gonna sit down and like focus, and sometimes I just might do something else. I don't know. It's just depending on like how I'm feeling in the moment, I think. But dude, freestyle, everybody should be freestyling. Even if you're not just making bars, like people should be talking to themselves all the time. I think talking to yourself is good for you, yo. Like,
that's what I heard.
Elmo said to brush my teeth. So I'm gonna go do that before I go to sleep. Elmo has all that knowledge. Elmo's got hella knowledge, you know.
Hella knowledge.
That's knowledge. Elmo got hella knowledge. Listen to Elmo.
Oh, there we go.
You know what? I just
Elmo's
freestyled.
king. Exactly.
Shout out Elmo.
Mic drop.
There you go.
Shout out Elmo, dude.
Great answer, bro. Yeah. And
No,
that's
for real
true.
though, like, there's a
Yeah.
time and place for all of it. I think, like, definitely. Do I have a preference? I just love fucking around and freestyling too. It's just fun. But writing's cool, man, because then you could really like get into it, you know. Like the stuff that I like spit a little earlier, that stuff was definitely written down. It's not freestyle, you know. Like I had more time to process, think about making certain conceptual connections, all that different type of stuff. But dude, yeah, time and place for all of it. You gotta have fun, yo. What?
It's a calling, right? It's always the mood. Fun. It's like, all right, today I'm gonna freestyle because I'm feeling like it. You know, it's like today's like I'm so pissed. I just heard this, and that. I'm gonna conceptualize one rap to bring them all to the right. It's like
that's right.
It's always a calling. It feels like the mood setter, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, freestyling is.
What do y'all prefer? What do you think? What do you prefer?
I like to I think, to me personally, when I'm actually conceptualizing, I'm freestyling. It'll start. I don't know if I got this from Bone or if I got this from somebody in particular, but I start with like mumbles. Like I'll start with melodies. I start with melodies where I'm like, and then I'll come back and put words to that to make sure it's just like that. The consonants hit with every da, di, da, di, da, ba, da.
Thanks, man.
You know?
You just gave me an idea. I never even thought about it that way.
So it's kind of freestyle. Even when I rap, I have to freestyle the next lyric. Just like, okay, the da 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 doesn't rhyme with the da 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 da. You know, it's like I gotta make it rhyme. So it's just like.
Yeah, Bone Thugs were so good at that. You know, it's like.
Exactly. Everywhere I go, I see the sun.
Oh my god!
Everywhere we go, we see your smile. Yeah, it's just like you just put words to it. Yeah.
What do y'all? What's freestyle?
I mean, I feel like I kind of agree with you. It kind of just depends on the moment, you know. It's like rap is like it's their therapy. A lot of it's therapy, you know. So it depends. Like if it is something that I feel like I really want to speak on, you know. But I don't know. I think the more I do it, the more I try not to think too much to do it, you know. And just let whatever's trying to come out, and you know, trust that it gets to where it's supposed to get to. So there's tons of ones that I wrote and I had all this intention behind it, but I never really pieced it together, you know. And then there's ones where it was like I wasn't even thinking about it at all, and it just came, you know, the way it was meant to come. So I feel like I kind of agree with you on what you were saying for the most part, you know.
It's a great tool to have for MC though, to really get down to freestyle, like just get it down.
Sometimes, you know, it just doesn't come out. Sometimes it does.
I go through modes, you know. I'll be like output mode, and then like a receiver mode. So,
what about you, Outcome? What you got? What do you think? Freestyle or written?
To be honest, I feel that as MCs and as lyricists, when it comes down even recording our vocals onto a beat, to make tracks and whatnot, I feel that even when it comes down to writing lyrics to solidify what it is that we're going to be recording, I really do feel that we have this inherent talent to freestyle in our heads. So we're naturally freestyling, you know, regardless of if we're vocalizing it or not. You know what I'm saying? In our heads, we have this idea of what we want to place onto track, and we want to make sure that it fits. It's going to be, you know, packaged up well, ready to, ready to ship out the product. But I really do feel that freestyling is part of being able to write. So, I mean, I love writing. I mean, I have a huge pet peeve on misspelled words, or on grammatical errors. Like I have a pet peeve. Like it like I become anxious, bro. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And so I love writing, but I do see myself, even when I'm drinking beer and like just listening to music, I'll start drifting off into a tangent just because my mind's going thinking about something else.
For sure,
and it's like, all right, cool, that goes in hard. And little do I know, I'm listening to Bobby Womack, you know, If You Think You're Lonely Now. And I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? You know, so it's like it's a constant transformative process, but it does have its foundation in freestyling, regardless if you're writing it or not.
That's true. Hey, that's a good way of putting it.
Like that.
Like as a foundation, like the essence of it. Yeah, definitely. You know, storytelling, talking to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
That's what it is.
It's hella
That's
fun.
What's up, y'all?
Hella fun.
Well, thank you so much for hopping on here and chit chat with us. This is my first time getting to interview, so thanks for being the first interviewee.
Yeah, man. Appreciate your time.
Chit chat with you today.
You know,
thanks, y'all. You know, gonna go.
Yeah,
scandal. You know, do what I gotta do.
Y'all give it up for A.M.A.R.U to our viewers. You know, y'all make sure y'all follow him on all those major platforms. I'm gonna be putting his links and all that stuff in the description of this video. But yeah, thanks for tuning in to this week's Indica. We're gonna catch you all next time. Y'all stay safe, be humble, stay creative. Peace.
PTC
in the house.